My name's Glenn Price and I'm the Director of Solar Power Brokers. I'm going to cover a few little topics for you in terms of what we should buy, what you need to look for, how solar works, and a bit about our company and a few frequently asked questions that we get, and a few of the industry secrets that you probably don't know about that you may have heard or you may be thinking. I've worked for a lot of different solar companies over the years. I've been in solar for about 5 to 6 years now. And I've seen everything from cheap equipment, I've seen inverters and batteries catch on fire. I've done insurance work where we've seen things that have blown up and we've had to send a team out there to replace it. What I want to go through is certain things that you should look at when you're purchasing a solar system.
So it's pretty simple. Right now, everybody gets their electricity from the electricity grid. Your poles, your wires, your meters. Now, there's a few different ways that they actually get the electricity in there. You've got your coal power, which is your fossil fuels. We've got renewable options like solar, wind, hydro, and we even have nuclear. Well, not in Australia, but that's another way to get electricity. Now that obviously goes into your house. Now most people will run 100% of their appliances, everything they use will come from the grid. Another way to actually get electricity to power your house is installing a solar system. So pretty much right now in Australia, there's two places you get electricity. One is the grid, one is solar. Now if you put solar on your roof, during the daytime, so from the moment the sun comes up in the morning till the moment the sun sets, your house will be powered from your solar system, meaning you don't pay a cent during those hours. Now, the other benefit of having solar is any power you don't use, because you become a mini power station. You power your house first, whatever you don't use, the grid wants that electricity, you feed that back in, and that's done through your inverter, through your meter. You actually get paid for the electricity you sell back to the power companies. Now, you get a credit. Because there is no sun at night time, you're going to be using the grid. Now, what you want is to have enough credits built up throughout the daytime to offset your nighttime cost. Now, what that means is a happy you, because you're not paying for electricity anymore, which is a huge cost to people. Now, the next thing to know is how your property is set up or what your meter is configured to. Now on the left hand side at the top there, we have what's called a single phase meter. Now 90% of all households or residential properties are set to this meter configuration. You can see in the little red circle there, that's one of your phases there. So if you ever open up your meter box, if anyone asks, are you on single phase or three phase, or what phase is your property? Open the meter, look for one of those, you're on a single phase. What that means is your house is powered off the one phase, the entire property. So if you were to get solar, you'd need a single phase inverter. The other option there next to it is what's called a three phase meter. Now this is quite common now amongst larger properties, and every commercial building is on a three phase meter. What that means is the property is divided up into three sections. So for example, you may have on one phase, you will have your kitchen, living area, the inside. On phase 2, if you've got ducted aircon, the aircon system might be on phase 2, and then on the third phase you could have your pool, garage, outdoor lighting, etc. Now on a property with that type of meter, you would want a three phase inverter, which means it covers all three sections of the property. Be wary, you can connect a single phase inverter to that meter type, but it would just power one phase. So if it's connected to the inside of your house, well, during the daytime, your pool pump, your garage, your air conditioning system, while it is running, it is off the grid, so you're actually paying for that. So you want to invest in a three phase inverter. They do cost more, but the benefits outweigh that extra cost in the beginning, because you can power your house throughout the daytime off that three phase meter. Second there is you've got the rooftop there, and that's as the compass sits there in the top right hand corner of that diagram there with the property. Now you'll see the orange circles that was an existing solar system. So what we're finding more now is it's getting a lot more common. People have solar and they want to add more panels to it. You see the green section there? That's our design where we would decide to put the panels. Now you'll see this rooftop, it's a nice east-west facing, which gives you coverage in the morning with the rising sun. You've got the northern sun there at the hottest part of the day hitting every panel, and then you've got the setting sun there, which is going to hit those panels on the west. Ideally, that would be the panel alignment or the orientation that I would recommend. However, some households, some roofs, we just can't fit those kind of panel alignments or arrangements on. But that is a perfect idea to give you an example of what you would be looking at. On the right hand side of that, you've got a solar inverter and a battery setup. Now, with that one there, that inverter is what's called a hybrid inverter. It means it can do three things. One is obviously power your house during the daytime. The second function is it allows the electricity that you don't use to go straight to the battery and charge up that battery. Now, once that battery is at 100% capacity, the excess goes back into the grid. So you actually can do three things. Now, once the sun goes down, instead of switching over and using the grid power, which you would if you only had solar, you use your battery system. So you power your house at nighttime off your battery, which can eliminate your bills entirely, which is perfect. Now, if we look at the bottom left, that is a Fronius inverter. You'll see that there with the electric car charger device, which is plugged into that. Now, that isn't powered off the solar. That's connected to the house. During the day, if you charge your car, it's off the solar. If you're charging it at nighttime, it's off the grid. And you'll see the next diagram there, or the picture. You've got an old Solax system. So that was a 5 kilowatt inverter with 6.6 on the roof. That customer needed more solar, so we just added a SunGrow system to that, and we gave them another 6.6, so we topped that up. Next, we move on to why purchase solar. Okay, obviously the number one reason people are purchasing solar is it's cheaper power. Like I explained in the video in the beginning, cheaper power. If you're not paying for electricity during the daytime, that's a huge reduction on your power bills. Most households run on a 60-40 split, so 60% of their usage is while the sun is up, 40% at night. So if you can reduce 60% of your usage down, automatically you're getting a cheaper bill. Now, you still have that excess power that you're going to sell back to the grid, which is going to build up those credits to offset your nighttime spend. If you get a big enough solar system, you can wipe out the electricity spend just with solar. Some households can't because they use so much electricity that nighttime offsets. You're not going to be able to eliminate the bill. So that's one reason to get cheaper bills. The second one is free power. Like I mentioned, if you do connect a battery to your solar system, then you can have free electricity. You use your solar during the day, you switch over and use your battery at night to power your house. That's how you can eliminate your power bills entirely, by running off solar and battery together in combination. Third one is environment. Now, whether you believe it or not, fossil fuels, they can have an effect on the environment. If you put solar on, it's called renewables. You can actually reduce the fossil fuels that are burnt through the grid. So that's how it can actually help the environment. Another one here is you have to get it. Now, Australia, we have signed a lot of agreements in terms of switching to renewables by 2030. There's the net zero, and by 2050, Australia has agreed to eliminate all fossil fuels, meaning we have to go to renewables, which means you will have to put solar and some sort of battery on your property if you want to have electricity. My view, I've been in this game for a while, is I see that will you be forced to do it? I don't know. But will they make power prices astronomically high that you have no other option but to power your house from renewables? So you will have to eventually get solar. Every home in Australia will have solar. It's just whether or not you want to do it now and save money in the beginning, or you want to wait until you're forced to do it. It's up to you. Independence. The beauty of having a battery system connected to your solar system is if the grid goes down and the power goes out, your battery system will kick in and you power your house off your solar and battery. You kind of run off grid. Now, over Christmas, we had a lot of power outages in areas like Maudsley, Oxenford, those areas. They were without power for, up to 10, 14 days. Nothing. A lot of those customers had solar, but your solar switches off automatically if the grid goes down. So you don't run off your solar, you have nothing. Put a battery system in with solar, you can actually run your house off solar and battery. So those customers or clients of ours, they actually had solar during the daytime, which was fine. They could power their house, and then they were using their battery at night time. So much more independent. You don't have to worry about the grid. And the last one is government rebates. Now, the Australian government, this is a federal scheme. They actually give you money to put solar on your house. Now, they will contribute currently around about 25% of the cost of solar towards your system. It's reduced in the beginning, so you actually get about a quarter off your solar system. It used to be a lot higher. We used to get about 80 or 90% back of the total cost from the government. However, those rebates drop every 12 months. So January 1st, they reduce those rebates down by about 10 to 15%, or anywhere from $500 to $1,000 off your system. Now, they are phasing those rebates out by 2030. There'll be no more government grants or rebates available to put solar on. So another reason to purchase solar, get some free money from the government. It's our tax dollars. We pay the government quite a lot of money. It's always good to get something back. So if none of those other reasons that I explained are good enough for you to get solar, at least put it on to get some money off the government. Okay, what to purchase? Now, in my opinion, this is probably the most important part of purchasing a solar system and certain things that you want to look at. First things first, you want to get good quality equipment. Now, if you look at it like this, you currently get electricity from the grid. You are buying a product that replaces the grid and powers your whole house for up to 20 years. Now, if you want that system to power your house for as long as possible, you want to get good components. Now, that I have got a diagram here. We've got the chart. Now, if you look at the top left-hand corner, that is high quality at lower prices. So these are products that we install, that I recommend, that I sell to a lot of my customers. You've got your Longi panels, Jinko panels. You've got your Alpha S battery system, which is a really good battery at a lower price, Solax inverters, and your Goodwe inverters. So if you want the good quality and you don't want to pay the high premium prices, these are the products I'd recommend. To the right hand side, you've got your higher quality, higher prices. Now these are your premium systems. You've got your Solar Edge inverters, your SunGrow inverters, which also do really good batteries along with Solar Edge. You have your REC or REC solar panels, which are a premium panel. Fronius inverter, which comes out of Europe. Obviously your Powerwall, your Tesla battery. Canadian solar panels. These are all your premium products that we sell. So if you want to pay higher prices and get a higher quality, if you want premium and you want something that is going to last you and you have that reassurance of a very long time, these are the products I'd recommend. Now, if you go your bottom left, these are low prices and low quality. I would not recommend these products. I don't sell these products. I wouldn't go with any of these. You got your Growwatt inverter, which is a cheap low-end inverter. You got your JA panels, your TW solar panels, and your Ulika panels. These are products I don't sell. I wouldn't recommend them. I wouldn't buy a system that has these. And if I moved into a house and I wanted a battery system, if I had these products, I would not connect the battery to it. I'd replace the whole thing. Now on the other side here, we've got higher prices, low quality. Now, there really isn't low quality stuff sold at higher prices these days. It's mainly your solar company. So you want to obviously keep an eye out for what companies are charging, and you look at those prices there. Any of these products here, if you see a company that's selling Growwatt TW solar at a high price, that's the company that's doing it. Now you want to get good installers. Now that's probably the most overlooked but most important aspect of getting solar is you want a good quality installation team. Now, good installers, charge a premium price. When it comes to electrical and plumbing, they're two areas you should never ever skimp out and pay a cheaper price. So I would recommend a company that's going to give you good installation companies. 5 to 10 years in business is an absolute minimum. Anyone that's just come on the market, any apprentices, any companies that are doing really dirt cheap, low pricing, they're probably cutting costs on installers, okay? And you want locally owned, a company that is owned by Australian business. Now, there are a lot of companies out there that claim they're Australian, but if you type in their ABN into ASIC, you will see that they're owned in places that probably have hot, humid temperatures. They are somewhere that you probably wouldn't want your company to be based or owned by. Okay, so that's just a little bit of advice there. Make sure that you get locally owned and operated companies when you're purchasing your system. Now that moves us on to our last bit of advice here is industry secrets. Okay, so I've been in this industry for quite a long time and I've seen everything, and I like to explain this and be very transparent to all of my clients. Now, if we go to the left here, we've got misleading. Now, there is a little asterisk there. Now, this is on some of the contracts I've seen by companies out there in the small print. If your products are unavailable on the day of install, we will replace them with products of equal value. Meaning, you get a quote with a SunGrow inverter and a Canadian solar panel. The company rocks up on the day of install. Sorry, we didn't have any Canadian panels in stock, but we've replaced them with panels of equal value. We're here today, let's get it installed. They'll install it and you probably end up with JA panels or TW panels. They just base it off the warranties. No one that I know, not one customer that I've had, has jumped up on their roof, looked at the panel and made sure that it was the panel they purchased. The inverter, you'll obviously see that. It's on your wall next to your meter. You'll see it. Panels, people tend to not look. So that's one thing that I know a lot of companies out there are doing, and it is in their contracts. Make sure you look at it. Another one, claiming to be an Australian company. You normally see some ads out there with a lot of Australian cricketers. If you look into them, like I said, type in their ABN to ASIC, you'll see where the company's head office is based or where they are actually the name of the business. Advertising false prices online. Now, a lot of companies will advertise pricing, which you'll see in the too good to be true section, and you actually won't get that price. Oh, your postcode doesn't qualify for that. Oh, your meter doesn't qualify for that. Oh, your roof doesn't qualify for that. You've got this price, okay? Now, it's not just in solar, it's in every industry. Car manufacturers do it. Woolies, Coles, everybody has put pricing on there. And I know some people have gotten in trouble for putting false pricing up there. But it's clickbait. You see the price, you click on it, then you actually get those extras. That leads me into additional extras. Things like you'll get a base price, you'll see it online. Oh, you have a tile roof, that's going to be extra. Oh, you have this type of meter, that's going to be extra. Oh, you've got you need a meter upgrade. Oh, your meter is too old, you need a new one. We need to add fuses. Oh, we didn't bring enough cabling, you need longer cables. There's a whole bunch of extras that they will add on. You want to make sure that they're all included. Now, if you get a quote and it's a price that you have signed on the quote for, and on the day of install that company tries to charge you extra, don't go with that company. It should all be accounted for in the quote. That is on them. Too good to be true. Go on Google, type in cheap solar. These are what you'll see. 6.6 kilowatt for $3,291, 9.9 kilowatt solar for $3,799, and then a solar deal, 6.6 kilowatt at $2,499. My advice, don't buy those products. If you think you're getting something that's going to last you 20 years and something that is going to perform to a high level for $2,499, now think of this. This system is designed to replace your power bills. Most people that I see now are paying $2,499 on electricity in 1 year. This system's designed to last 20 years and eliminate that power bill. It's not going to be a 20-to-1 ROI. Okay, so just keep an eye out. These prices are silly. They're ridiculous. It's killing the industry. Some of you will still buy these. Some people that are watching or listening to this video, you will still buy these systems. It's up to you. I'm just giving you some advice, and I'm trying to give you guys all the industry secrets and tricks that I know. Now, need to know. Interest-free. There's a lot of companies out there that are selling on interest-free. We have interest-free providers in Plenty, Bright, Hum. All these lenders do interest-free. But you need to know with interest-free, yes, it's interest-free in terms of recurring, ongoing interest, but you don't get it for the cash price. Say the cash price is $10,000. On the interest-free, you'll pay about 11.5, 12 grand because there's a front-end loading cost to get that. There's no such thing as interest-free. Companies need to make money, but that's how it works. Now, an interest-free payment plan is much cheaper and better than a green loan. A green loan is an interest payment plan. So you get the price that is agreed in the beginning, which would be a cash price, $10,000 cash or $10,000 on a green loan, but then there is interest built into that. Most companies are charging 9.5% these days, so it's good to just know exactly what you're doing. Now, there's nothing wrong with interest and there's nothing wrong with paying a bit extra. Everybody bought their house, well, not everybody, not many people bought their house with cash up front. So this gives you the opportunity to put on a really good quality solar system. Now, if you don't have the spare cash of 20 grand sitting in your bank account, but you want a battery, you want solar, these companies will get that on for you. Now, if it can eliminate a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a year power bill, you now have that money in your account. You can pay these off monthly. So you go from spending $800 per quarter on a power bill to $700, maybe even $800, maybe it's exactly the same, but you're paying something off that's actually giving you a return on investment. You're paying off your solar system and your battery. These plans run from 3 to 5 years. Some companies are doing 7 years. Once it's paid off, you have no more power bills and you have no more repayments. That's why it's a benefit to obviously use these plans. Battery ready, be careful. Some companies will tell you that the system is battery ready. Unless it's a hybrid inverter, it's not battery ready. So be wary that if they sell you a solar only inverter and say, yeah, it's battery ready, you're limited to what kind of batteries you can get. Probably a Tesla Powerwall, which is a battery that you can connect to any solar system, and they're quite expensive, okay? So if you want something that's battery ready, make sure you buy the hybrid inverter, which you can then plug a battery in. That's battery ready. Be wary of price. You've obviously got your cheap solar systems, which I've shown you there, and they're too good to be true. And then you've got extortionately high solar systems. You want to be somewhere around the Goldilocks, which is the porridge is just warm. That's kind of what you want. You want somewhere in the middle. Always good to obviously look around. Don't buy the cheapest, and you don't want to get ripped off and buying the most expensive. So you kind of want to look at somewhere around that middle ground. Installers, make sure that you do ask the company and the rep. The installers, who are they? How long have they been in business? Which company? If you're using subcontractors, which most companies do, how long have they been in business? Now, if you are using a company that says they have in-house installers, is everybody that's going to be installing the job qualified? Are they A grade? Are they apprentices? Ask more questions about installers because it's very important. You can get burnt on that. And make sure you read the T's and C's. Again, in that misleading, when you see that little fine print, if your products are unavailable on the day of install, we'll replace them with the products of equal value. You're never getting equal value, you're getting crap. Okay, so that's just a bit of a misleading tactic that they use. So yeah, T's and C's, make sure you have a look at that. Great.
Thanks for watching the video. Final piece of advice, don't buy shit. Put some good stuff on your roof, make sure the warranties are good, make sure the installers are good, and then use a reputable company. Thanks for watching. Speak to you next time. Bye.